We're going to pick this game, give you our score predictions in the third segment as we cover all of the SEC. We're also going to discuss your Friday fan feels coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And we have an important request. Locked On wants to hear from you. We've put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and make your favorite podcast even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like, what you don't, and answer questions about our advertising. Go to lockedonpodcasts.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes a survey will be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Again, that's lockedonpodcasts.com/survey. You can also find the link in the show notes. Thanks for helping us out here on the Locked On Network. Jay, the Oklahoma Sooners, they play Illinois State on Saturday. I think a lot of Oklahoma fans are feeling confident about this team heading into the season. But we got to see it. There's a lot of people that still want to take a wait and see approach. Not necessarily going to learn a whole lot about the team this week, but it'll give us a little bit of an indication of what this team is going to be all about. ADG1324 on YouTube says what he's looking for the most is 0 sacks allowed from the offensive line. That's what he needs.
I like that.
We need it. Got to have it. 0 sacks allowed from the offensive line. Now, I will say this, and just real quickly, Jay.
Go ahead.
Not all sacks are on the offensive line. I think we saw this last year. Sometimes the protection's good enough. Your quarterback has to make a decision with the ball. There, go.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, sacks really are a quarterback stat. Get rid of the ball.
Yes.
There's typically plays that are designed for you to get rid of it very quickly. Just get rid of that thing. And if you anticipate that the rush is going to be that tough, you read it right, you should be able to get rid of it. At least throw it away in the proper situation. In a lot of situations, you see the quarterback hold the ball a long time, try to wait it out, try to let the play develop more. If you don't feel it, if you feel like there's too much, get rid of that thing. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And to me, yes, I am here with that. A lot of the times when sacks happens, usually because the quarterback don't want to throw it. I don't think we'll have that problem with John Mateer and Ben Arbuckle this year.
Or because the quarterback's not seeing what's coming and not adjusting his protection or the route concepts to either take advantage of the blitz or to account for the blitz. Quarterbacks have way more control over pressure and sack totals than people want to give them credit for. All right. I'm guessing Sergeant JC Duck is saying, I'm feeling like this team is about to turn some heads and take the SEC. A lot more teams have lost a lot of talent, and OU rebuilt our offense for it. Went on to say he loves what Brent Venables is building.
Yeah, Sergeant Duck, spot on there. And we're actually hearing other people say the same thing. An opposing coach, I talked about it on yesterday's show, opposing coach that faced John Mateer said, hey, they don't know. The SEC doesn't really know what's coming. They think they know. He's going to walk in there and be a game changer. And I am on that exact same narcotic as all of them. And because I see it, you can see it in just the way he carries himself, the way that everyone has gravitated to him, the way everyone's talking about it, how everyone's talking about things are night and day. Like, I know somebody that has a good connection within the organization, and it was like, yeah, the practices are nothing like they were last year. You're seeing the offense actually win practices, and that's what they were not doing last year. We're hearing about, I hate to pile on it, but our former quarterback, all we're hearing about in Auburn practices is, he don't get rid of the ball. That's kind of the thing we dealt with last year. And all you hear about is confidence and building confidence. I was listening to Bussin' with the Boys. That's who it was. And they were talking about how if the coach is going to constantly talk about confidence, Baylor may put that dude in the blender because Dave Aranda's a really good coordinator. We'll talk about that. Good defensive mind. But anyway, Oklahoma should be able to turn heads this year by a lot of teams underestimating them.
Yeah, this is going to be a team that's much better than what people want to give it credit for. Too many people are looking at the 2024 season and trying to somehow attribute that offense to what's going to happen this year, which is ludicrous. That is the biggest aberration of the data as any we've seen at Oklahoma. The worst offense since 1998.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
even when Brent Venables first came here, we turned it around, right?
Well, and I look at that. So was it the 2006 season with Paul Thompson at quarterback? He took over for Rhett Bomar. And, that offense wasn't like elite by any stretch of the imagination, but it was good enough, right? They were able to make enough plays to go win the Big 12, beat Nebraska. They had Mark Clayton. It was good enough. This offense has a chance to be significantly better than that. And people still want to try to tell me that Oklahoma is not going to win more than 6 games. Like, it's going to be much better than it was last year. And the defense is going to be as good as it was. So I don't understand how people are still not quite buying Oklahoma, except they're just a bunch of haters. Anyway, this one is kind of a good piggyback off of that. It's if Oklahoma's offense is around 80 to 90% better, look out. We're going a long way for sure. That comes from Dennis Harrison, 8250.
And that's all we need to get to. I mean, we even talked about how if the offense is 50% better, which would put them middle of the pack in the country, we should win 9 games.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of teams have lost a good chunk of players and they've replaced a lot of bodies, and we've got to see if those bodies are going to gel. Same thing with Oklahoma, but the good thing is Oklahoma's coming from the bottom with their gelling. So the question about us isn't, will Oklahoma be able to maintain a top 20 offense like some of these other teams? It's can Oklahoma's offense just be better than last year? And Truth be told, the biggest question was, will we have a quarterback that will just throw the ball? I think we're at the point now where we have that. We're very confident in that part. And I don't think a lot of fans understand, and even opposing fans understand that that's literally the one thing that we were wondering about is, can we install an offense where the quarterbacks feel comfortable with getting rid of the ball quickly and wide receivers feel comfortable running the routes? I think we are at that point now. And if we do that, then here we go. We should be a 9-win team. Literally, 9 wins are right there on the schedule if you just walk out there, throw the ball.
It's one of those things that this team doesn't have to have a great offense to go win games. It just has to have a offense that can take advantage of a 1st and goal at the 5.
Right.
It's an offense that can, take advantage of a turnover that puts them on the other team's side of the 50. That's what it's going to take. And I think this is an offense that's going to be not just good enough, but it's going to be good. If we had an offense that was just good enough last year, we're an 8-win team. I truly believe that. But we didn't. We had an offense that was bad. And so I'm pretty confident in saying that this is going to be an offense that's actually pretty good. You keep talking about, getting rid of the football. And I think, man, we don't talk enough about that sometimes. And Pro Football Focus puts together a stat that's like passing concepts and things like that. Time in the pocket, all that jazz. And I just want to go and like quickly compare Jackson Arnold to John Mateer, because I think that'll greatly show the difference in these two and we're seeing it in some of the highlights out of camp. It's like John Mateer is hitting his drop and he's quickly getting rid of the football. And I just felt like that was the thing that was keeping Jackson Arnold from being able to ascend or at least display the talent that he had, is that he just wouldn't get rid of the football. Now Pro Football Focus is trying to be really slow and loading what I'm asking it to load. But anyway, I'm trying to vamp and get this out there. We'll look at one more fan feel here before we do that. Feeling like the best outcome is we don't learn much. If OU struggles on 3rd down offensively and defensively, we've learned we have problems. Problems are really all we can learn from this game. And this comes from Pitbull 1701.
No, that's a very good point too. Like, It's a very good point that for the most part, you really don't want to learn much. You want to know that, okay, yeah, we went out there and dominated them. That's kind of the expectation. So in theory, are you learning something whenever you go out there and dominate a team that you're supposed to dominate?
Yeah.
It's a good point there, Pitbull. For me, the learning thing is I want to learn about just the execution part of it, right? This is a dress rehearsal in preparation for week 2. We were blessed to have the ability to have this game instead of playing Michigan week 1 like a lot of other teams. Like LSU Clemson, I think LSU would, and we'll talk about this in the next segment more, but I think that game would be a lot better for LSU if it was a few games later. I think the Texas-Ohio State game would be better for either side a couple of games in. Now they're both, it's going to be based... We're going to judge all these teams off week 1 when we should really not really judge them until closer to week 5 because teams are allowed to get better week over week over week throughout the season. And the biggest thing is all about health. If you're healthy, then you're good. So to me, the biggest and best outcome in all of this is we get out this bad boy healthy.
So when Jackson Arnold got rid of the ball in under 2.5 seconds, his completion percentage was 70%. When he didn't, and his season completion percentage was not good. Like it was, I think it was below that. For John Mateer, when he got rid of the ball in under 2.5 seconds, I lost it. Sorry guys. This is terrible. This is why you shouldn't do this on the fly. But anyway, get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball quickly and move on. Like get to your drop, hit your read, get rid of the football. And if it's not there, get rid of it. Don't let the pressure force you into a situation you don't want to be in.
Exactly.
That's it.
Just get rid of the ball.
Just get rid of the ball. Too many times Jackson Arnold was not willing to throw the ball. We're going to talk more about Jackson Arnold coming up next. Last thing here comes from Brent Chapman. He says, looking forward to a climb like we had in 2000. Boomer. Sooner, Brent. Appreciate you, man. Coming up next here on Locked On Sooners, we're going to pick the SEC games this weekend.